side, we wish you a very good night. Rest good and see you tomorrow. Frode.
You're watching Solar Impulse TV, 12:30 GMT, and as ever during this flight, I say as ever because I can't even remember what day it is or how long I've been here, this is the moment where we take you through what's happened during the previous 12 hours and what's coming up over the next 12 hours, because we've just had our handover briefing where the two shifts hand over and exchange information. That happened around about half an hour ago, and we're very happy to have a new face on Solar Impulse TV, Christophe Etter. Hello, Christophe.
Hello, Conor.
And a varied career for you, a former fighter pilot, an old friend of André Borschberg and Raymond Clerc, quite a few of you guys here. And in fact, in the back room, this is very cruel what I'm doing to our TV crew. Let's see if we can see the back room in the MCC. Can we get a picture of that now? No, we can't really see it. Right at the end, on the left-hand side, there is a flag. Were you in this squadron?
Yeah, Squadron 5 on Hunter.
Okay, and this is where you all were together in the Swiss Air Force?
That's right, with Jean-Luc, with Raymond.
Oh, Jean-Luc, how could I forget Jean-Luc? Is he watching? Jean-Luc is standing at the back. Chocho, Jean-Luc, all of these people above the Swiss skies. And now we have André Borschberg, who's up there in a plane which is far, far slower than anything you've ever piloted, I think. And you're in charge mainly of pilot communication. And that means that you have a very close relationship with André. You're speaking to him during the night, during the day, and talking him through what's happening. And is it important to have the same background as him in order to be able to communicate with him in a way that is calm and clear?
Yeah, I think it makes it easier also to understand what the pilot feels. If he has some difficulties or so, maybe we can understand really what he means in technical terms and so. And it doesn't go only technical, but also we can feel his mood, his voice, everything, and try to adapt the things we do here down, maybe the profile he flies according everything.
So do you feel that you can understand him well enough to anticipate what his reactions will be to the suggestions, to the instructions that you give him from the mission control?
Anticipate, don't know, I'm not sure, but yeah, we try, and we try to adapt at least to the situation. If he is very tired, we really try to change a bit the schedule to give him as much rest as we can. Maybe change the profile to be more adapted, especially due to the oxygen. So this we really try.
Well, the reason I asked Christophe is because we had some emergency simulations before the flight to try and imagine what would happen if there was a real problem with the pilot of the plane. You played the role of André Borschberg, and there were some situations where you as a pilot, you didn't want to do what the mission control was asking you because this is the instinct of the pilot. For example, that awful moment where they would have to say, okay, you have to leave the plane, you have to bail out now. And you as the pilot, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of pilots died in the past because they always want to go too late outside of the aircraft, because as pilot you want to fly and land the machine and not just jump out. We are not parachute jumpers, but pilots. It's a big difference. That's why I tried to play this role for the guys learning and training in the MCC during this exercise.
Well, you were very, very convincing doing that role playing, and in the end, the emergency simulation went extremely well. Oh, well, let's get back to where we are now, Christophe. We're going to talk through this together. First of all, this is very important, looking at this distance covered so far. The main statistic really is this: 3 days, 18 hours, one guy non-stop in the plane. Can you imagine yourself in that situation?
Not really. He just does an amazing and just great job over there. It's fantastic for many points, and not only the fatigue, but the temperature, all the time under oxygen is very difficult what he does, really.
And 82% done, that's great, but at the same time, look at what we've got left there, 1,484 kilometers. This is similar to a whole one-day flight for Solar Impulse normally. And we're talking about a guy who has to do this. We know how difficult a one-day flight is, but this is someone who's already had around 4 days in the cockpit.
Yes, absolutely. I wouldn't say it will be the hardest part now, but in a way, he's really tired now. We try to give him now presently some rest, he's tired. The aircraft has also some house now behind with the batteries, for example, we spoke before or so. So yeah, there is quite still a lot of job, a good job to do to come to Hawaii in a safe way.
Okay, because we're not pushing just the pilot, we're pushing the plane and the pilot to their limits now, and this has never been done before. This is very much likely going to be the longest flight that we'll do throughout this round-the-world flight attempt.
Yes, probably, yeah.
The toughest so far, really, really huge. I know that Andre has been in touch with you. He's been in touch with some other members of the team as well, just to talk about how he's feeling. And he's saying here that he's really feeling the tiredness now. And as he says, this is a good way of putting it, it's climbing up to Everest 4 times now.
Yeah, that's right. Even with oxygen, it remains difficult for the body. You have big change in temperatures, and flying with oxygen makes also a bit tired.
Yeah, and I said earlier that I don't want the job of being the man, Michael McGrath, who has to be there to make sure that the oxygen is getting to Andre correctly. It's going fine, but I think the problem is, you know this as well as a former fighter pilot, I think one of the big problems is that when you're in a high altitude situation and you're on an oxygen mask, if something goes wrong with the oxygen, the effects are very, very fast. You have to react very, very quickly, a matter of seconds.
Absolutely. When he flies at level 280, so approximately 8,000 meters, then you really have to act quickly. Otherwise, after maybe 30 or 40 seconds, you are gone and you just cannot do anything. So he really have to learn the things by heart and be ready to do the right thing at the right moment. Yeah.
We've also got the other situation here. This is a good one to look at, a good part of the site to look at. The battery state of charge. Energy efficiency now. We have 2 situations. We have a major weather front that we have to cross at exactly the right time. And also there is a situation with the batteries where the batteries are warmer than we would like. They're not at their optimal level. So we have to be especially careful about the way we charge the batteries. Can you just tell us where we are with that situation?
Yeah, exactly. Every day the battery temperature increases a little bit more. And what we have to do is to adapt the profile, so to charge them carefully and slowly. If we can achieve this, then we can manage the temperature to stay in a normal range. Yeah, that's the point. And for this, we adapt the climb profile especially.
Okay, so just looking back then, I think we've covered the situation there with the batteries, the pilot fatigue, and the situation with oxygen. Let's look ahead now, 12 hours to come. Now, we are 100 nautical miles above an artificial island called French Frigate, loitering altitude of 8,000 feet, and we have energy use more or less as calculated, which is a good thing. And we've got the next energy neutral morning coming up in around about 5 hours' time, and we're really getting into the situation now where the timing has to be crucial.
Yeah, that's right. And but presently the profile, the energy and the altitude looks fine. We are exactly on our calculation, so it really looks fine from this point of view. The weather looks fine ahead also, so from the energy point of view should be okay.
We mentioned records earlier. Every second that he's in the air, he's breaking another record for solar aviation. But we have confirmation from the FAI. This is the body that certifies aviation records. We have confirmation. This is the press release we got from them. Andre Borschberg's solo flight is the longest ever achieved. That was at 22:48 UTC, and he superseded Steve Fossett's 2005 duration performance by flying solo for more than 74 hours, 56 minutes and 5 seconds above the Pacific Ocean in an airplane. So congratulations to Andre Borschberg and you, Christophe, and the team who have helped Andre to get this far. Not over yet, though. Still lots to go. Let's not get too excited about Hawaii. Let's concentrate minute by minute on what's to come. We still have a whole day flight to go for Andre Borschberg, a man who's been in the air for an extremely long time. And thank you very much, Christophe. I'll let you get back to, what is it now? Back to your post, back to bed? What's the next situation?
No, I just came from bed, so I go to my post and we'll start to speak with Andre again. But he's sleeping now, so every 20 minutes we have a very short speak with him and then he goes back to sleep.
Okay, thanks very much, Christophe. You've been watching Solar Impulse TV. We will be back again for Energy Neutral Morning. If we can just take a look back at how long that takes, back to the screen where we can see the timings for the next, there we go, 5 hours and 20 minutes. until we have the last energy neutral morning show of this flight, in fact, because tomorrow we'll be back, hopefully, if Christophe and the guys are relaxed enough, we'll be back around this kind of time for the landing show. Can't believe that we're there, but let's just do it one step at a time. Energy Neutral Morning Show will be a big one. We'll have Raymond Claire, Mission Director. We'll have a chat with André Borschberg in flight as well. We'll have many other members of the team who we haven't spoken to yet, electrical engineers, finding out more about the communication, how we managed to have this video and audio communication with the pilot, which is also really interesting. So lots to come, lots of videos, lots of guests, and that will be at around just before 1800 UTC, just a few minutes before that critical energy neutral morning point. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget, we're not just doing this to show how clever we are and how far we can keep a man in the air. We're also drawing attention to the fact that there are so many technologies out there, clean technologies, renewable energy, and we're putting it all into this plane, making it as energy efficient as possible. I read one statistic. Apparently this plane is more efficient than walking, if you can believe that. I'll check that one out, but I can believe it. And to get you to sign up to Future is Clean, futureisclean.org. We want millions of people agreeing with us that we want a cleaner future. We want concrete actions for a cleaner, less polluted future. We have a paper planes challenge you can take part in. To find out more about that, go to the site. One more time, futureisclean.org. And now let's take a look at some of the people who've been throwing these planes around the world. Speak to you soon.
Hey, Florent, can you catch it? Something, but there is no relationship with the
Delete everything from the old and copy the new one in. Then everything will be
it doesn't work this way because I'm working with Garmin systems and I enter each